and what they faced for 2 months probably leading up to that moment, and how they've responded, stepped through the fire, who they are as people and leaders inside of our program. They've helped lay a rock-solid foundation to this program as we go forward, and appreciate everything that they've done. Excited about the win today. I thought defensively started super fast. Obviously, the pick six by Theo, great play by him. Vela's huge return offensively. Don't get things going there early in the football game. Don't convert in that short field. But kids responded. I thought defense played stifling, suffocating defense all the entire first half. Gave up the one play at the end of the first half. Liked the way they came out and responded in the second half for the most part, and offensively found a way to get into rhythm and get some things going there as the game unfolded. But appreciate who they are, what they're about, how they compete, how they've grown, and their competitive spirit every time that we strap it on and run out on the football field. So with that, I'll open it up.
Questions, we'll start with Adam, then go to David.
You're going to a bowl, you're guaranteed a winning record. In terms of building the program long-term, how important was it to have success immediately in year one?
Important for our program that we grew throughout the course of the season. You guys have seen our kids respond and grow throughout the course of the season. They're great competitors, which is the first thing that you got to have inside your program. Very consistent in that behavior. The one thing that I and we've never done as a team is put a ceiling on this group, and they've responded to that too. They believe in who they are and are confident in themselves as individuals, but collectively as a group too. And it was important for us to show those things throughout this season for sure. I think as much as anything, all the recruiting that we did from the time that I got here from February up until September were really, in some ways, words, right? You're trying to compare and contrast to the things that you've done at other places and why it's going to work here. I think the great thing about where we're at in recruiting now is, recruits understand that all of those things are true and will happen here.
Josh, when you have a moment like the senior ceremony when Alante Taylor, a Tennessee kid, kind of comes up and buries his head in you and gives you a bear hug, how emotional is that, given that you've still got to turn around and play a game? Because obviously, he's been through a lot. Everybody here's been through a lot.
Yeah, for sure. A group of young men that they got good careers ahead of them on the football side of them for a lot of them too. But like in life, man, there's no doubt in my mind these guys are going to be successful. Football prepares you in a really unique way for what's going to transpire and happen in life. And these guys will be highly successful individuals the way they're able to step through things. And for Alante and for a lot of them, or all of them, really, just I'm grateful and indebted to them in a lot of ways for just their buy-in and being great leaders and being able to communicate. It's a group of seniors that is really rare in the way that their ability to communicate. And I say that from the first moment that I got here on campus, and what was working, what wasn't, what was broken, and what was important to them, and that laid a lot of the foundation of the groundwork as far as how we kind of move forward in some of those early moments.
Coach, all season you guys have maybe had players that were in and out of the lineup, and you just put the next guy in. Offensive line day, you don't have your starting right side. You put 4 different guys in there and rush for 285 yards. Just what does that say about this team? What does that say about those guys, that group and those guys individually?
Yeah, for sure. I think it speaks to Coach Golish and Coach Ellerby and our staff at all the different positions to be able to put kids in a position of success. I think it speaks to those guys that have stepped in too and competed extremely hard, and in the moment they've taken advantage of it for a lot of them. But I think it speaks to who they are when nobody's watching too, and the ability to just grow. I mean, JJ, just where he started, coming in late, and I'm just talking about during the course of summer, just his growth from training camp to his ability to go out there and play the way he did tonight.
Wes?
Josh, you said consistently that you didn't want to put a cap on what this team could be this season.
Did you ever feel like you had to, even at the beginning, you had to convince the guys on this team of the same thing, or do you think they understood that?
I think what we as a staff had to show these guys is what does it look like to be able to play at a winning level. And talent's one thing, but that doesn't dictate where you go in this game or in life. And you know, the inches that you got to gain every day, the accountability that you got to have, the respect for, you know, the people you're in the locker room with, to your coaching staff, to the ability to work through the process and just continue to fight and grow, and, you know, the consistency you have to have in your competitive nature and how you attack everything every day. And as we have gone through those stages, they've started to understand that, man, we do have a chance to really be a good football team, you know, and I think they gain confidence in that. They gain trust in us as a staff, but gain confidence in who they were as well. And you know, and then when things haven't gone perfect, you know, or we've been on the wrong side of it, we've tried to show them why those things transpire and things that we can control to change the outcome of some of those football games.
Mike, then Vince.
Yeah, Josh, I just want to get your reaction to Tyon Evans yesterday, 2 years ago? Yesterday, announcing he's going to enter the transfer portal.
Yeah, wish him nothing but the best. You know.
Josh, what's the plan now moving forward, now that the regular season's over, waiting for obviously a bowl bid? How will you guys approach the coming weeks?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, our staff will be on the road recruiting here, and you know, that, you know, kind of becomes the forefront here for the next week or two. We'll be back next weekend, have a bowl practice or two next weekend, and you know, for our guys, they'll have a day or two off during the course of the week, but they'll get back in the weight room a little bit too.
Other questions? We'll go to the back.
How do you feel Cedric Tillman has developed as the season has gone along? He's 3 straight games with 100+ yards now.
Yeah, believe his football's still ahead of him, but a guy that from the moment we've gotten here, just been super consistent in who he is and how he approaches the day, how he works in the weight room. Guy that spend as much time as anybody watching extra film on what we've done offensively and what he was going to have to do. Because of his work habits, just, I mean, he constantly gets better. First 5 days of spring ball to the second 5 days, you could see him get better. You could see his confidence grow. Second 5 to the third 5 days, man, he took another huge jump. Who he was all summer long, how he prepared, man. He just, like, during training camp, you could see him take steps. And you guys have seen that in the way he's played throughout the course of the season, man. He's got a chance to be an extremely dominant football player next year. And you know, guys got a chance to do some really special things, help this program win.
Patrick and Adam.
Coach, you've been asked about conversations with Hendon about what he's going to do as a coach. I mean, selfishly, you probably want him back based on how well he's played for you this season. How do you kind of go about those conversations with him about what he's going to do about coming maybe back?
Yeah, I think for all those guys, you know, to me, you just approach it that you want to present information to your players and make sure that they understand, you know, where they're at, what's being said, what the process looks like, and you help them and their families. You want the best for them, man. I want every one of our players to go to the NFL and have a 10-year career and you know, change the course of their life forever. You know, to do that, you got to be physically, emotionally, mentally ready to make that stride. It's not a league that's a developmental league, and so you want to make sure that your kids are in the right position and the right frame of mind. And when it's time for those guys to jump, man, shoot, nobody's happier for them than myself or our staff.
What do things look like from here in terms of recruiting, practice for the bowl? Do you give you guys some time off? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, they'll have a few days off this coming week. They'll get some lifts in. We'll have something this weekend, this coming weekend, you know, a practice or two. Haven't decided that. And then, you know, coaches are out on the road and hitting the ground running here tomorrow.
Coach, it's time for one more meeting. Okay. All right, we'll have players shortly.
You guys have a great night.
Two-point conversion contest.
you like the overtime?
All right, everybody, we have Cedric Tillman and Jabari Small. Please raise your hand. I'll call on you for questions. Start with David.
This could be for either one of y'all. Y'all have been so fast starting on offense this year. What was that first quarter like when Theo provided all the points? How different was that?
Man, it was crazy. Theo talks a lot about making a play like that, so I was just happy and excited for him to get a pick six, especially on senior day. So, yeah, it was definitely dope, and it was different.
Rob.
Cedric, you're kind of a poster child for the way coach has gotten career performances from guys who really, have not played a lot or not produced a lot. How does he do that? How does he instill the confidence that you can do more than you ever have?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is Heupel really just trusts in all his players, and he really believes in all his players, and he's just a player's coach. So when you give a guy like me who necessarily hasn't done a lot of things in the program, it's not about ability, but just the fact that he trusts in me, and he puts me in position to make plays is very important, especially to a player like me. So like I said, not just Heupel, the team in general, I try not to let them down. I just try to be a playmaker for the team.
Adam.
Jabari, you guys are going to a bowl, you have a winning record. What tells you that there can be more in the program after this, that this leads to something even bigger and better based on what you saw this season?
Yeah, I just think it was just the first year with Coach Heupel. We haven't even reached the ceiling or the peak of where we could be in the next coming years. It's just very exciting just to see the whole team buy into what Coach Heupel was doing. We had some young players, first year in the system, so the future is bright, I feel like.
Cedric, Coach Heupel said a couple of times that your best football is still ahead of you, that you have a tremendous amount of potential still in the future. What are those specific things that are next steps for you, and how exciting is that there's still all of that ahead of you?
Yeah, it's just the first year. I have a lot to learn. It's my first year really starting. So, just being more consistent and, just touching up on the little things. So I'm excited for the future. Yeah.
Here, and I'll go Wes and Patrick.
Yeah, Jabari, just playing with Jalen Wright, how have you seen his growth throughout the season?
It's been great to see him just mature each game. He's learning. Coach Mack has done a great job of just developing him and teaching the ins and outs because, it's a difference between just playing a couple snaps and playing like a whole game. So he's just getting better with each snap and each carry. So it's just been fun to watch him.
Jabari, a lot of times when a running back hurts his shoulder early in the season, that can really ruin a season for that position. It's just probably hard to play through. I mean, did you know you were going to be able to get through the season? How tough has it been?
It's been tough, but my teammates like Cedric, my coaches, my dad, my mom, they've stayed in my ear. They've just been so supportive and just keeping me grinding through it. I just want to be there for my teammates, knowing it's not just about me, just trying to be there when I was needed.
Were there ever times when you wondered if you were going to be able to get through the season?
Yeah, probably the whole season. Yeah.
Cedric, the way you played over the last 8 games, I guess the NFL question is out there. Is that something you're going to consider?
Hey, that decision will be made later.
I guess with Jabari, the offensive line, they had have a couple of starters with Sprague and Cade out. Those other guys seem to step up. What did you see from those guys in front of you?
They played hard. I was just proud of the way we executed when it was time to execute. We play very fast, so it's just a big adjustment for the players that don't play a lot to step up. So I was proud of the way the line blocked, and even when Joe stepped in and Jalen stepped in, I was proud of how they played.
We'll take a few more for you guys, then we have Hendon and Theo. So we'll go Mike, Jimmy, and then in the back over here.
Obviously, Hendon has a decision to make too after this year. Have you guys tried to convince him to stick around for another year?
Yes.
What's the pitch? I mean, what's the sales pitch you guys are presenting there?
He did this the first year. Imagine what he can do the second year. It was a lot of new things, a lot of adversity we had to overcome. And for him to perform how he did and just stay so poised and be a leader, he can just grow on that, and the sky's the limit for him.
Jimmy.
Coach Heupel said that you got a chance to be an extremely dominant football player next year. Well, what does that mean when you hear your coach say that about you?
It gives, I appreciate it because that means he trusts in me and that he sees a lot of me. And like I said earlier in one of the questions, that really does a lot, especially for a player like me to know that my coach, the boss dude, believes in me. So I appreciate it.
Jabari, you guys started the season with 2 guys rushing for more than 100 yards against Bowling Green. Today, you guys round out the season with 2 guys rushing for more than 100 yards in the game. What does it mean to be a part of that?
It's special. It's very unique. I'm just proud of the way we fought. It was a whole team effort, the whole line. They blocked very well today. A lot of people stepped up, so it was just an honor to be a part of this.
We'll go Patrick and finish with Ben.
Cedric, you came into the season with, I think, 8 catches in 3 years. I think in the bowl game, you maybe have a chance to get over 1,000 yards for the season. Did you kind of see that you could have this kind of production this year? Did you kind of see that coming?
Yes, I did. Me and Burns talked about it. Called me up in his office. It's like, there's no reason why you shouldn't have 1,000 yards this season. So, yeah, it definitely was a goal of mine. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm definitely going to try to get it. So. When
was that conversation then?
Sometime in the summer. Yeah.
Jabari, you talked about how close you are with Tylen Evans. What was your reaction to him, and were you surprised at him hitting the transfer portal?
Yeah, I just tried to be there for Tyon for anything and everything. I'm just happy for him. I'm supporting him. But, it's hate to see him go.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We'll have Hendon and Theo here in just a second. All right, raise your hand. I'll call on you guys. We'll go Patrick, Mike.
Theo, I guess the only thing you hadn't done this season was have an interception. One today, what did you see on that play? Just what was it like to have that moment?
I mean, the play prior to that, he threw the same exact ball, and then, Coach Martinez got on to me about not getting out there fast enough. So once I seen that they ran the same play to the other side, I knew I had to jump it. And then the only thing I seen in front of me was green, so I knew I had to score. So that was really the mindset of, going into that, is just scoring.
Mike.
Yeah, Hendon, you didn't go through senior day ceremony today. Why was that the choice for you, and have you kind of thought about what's next for you after this season?
Not really. Just kind of been focused on Vanderbilt this week and the game plan that we had in and preparing for their defense. They came in very energized from their impressive performance last week, so just getting prepared for them.
And what was the injury and how you doing?
Yeah, it was good. Just cut my hand. Nothing too major. Started to bleed a little bit, but stitches got it done.
And real quick for Theo, did you give him any grief for outdressing you for the?
I mean, I'm more of a comfortable guy,
Jimmy.
And when will you make the decision on whether to return to Tennessee or not?
When the time is right, just praying on it. I don't know. Whenever that time is right, just talking over my family and Coach Hype. When the time is right, a decision will be made.
Theo, after you've had a rough couple years here, going back to obviously some of the previous tenures, how big is it to get this bowl game appearance in the first year of Coach Heupel and as you're exiting the program?
I mean, it's really good, man. Just knowing that us seniors, we built the foundation from where it was, and Hype coming in and getting a bowl winning season. So it's really just good to go out the right way.
We'll go Ben, Zach, Vince, and then Wes.
Theo, any thought in sitting out the bowl game, or?
Oh no, oh, I love football too much to sit out.
And just that first half, you all played really well except for the Hail Mary. Just kind of what went into that first half, and then what went wrong on the Hail Mary.
Really, just them making a play. It really wasn't much to it.
You've seen your family out here at games all year long, and they sit right there in that end zone where you were headed. Kind of take me through that play. Were you looking at them at all? Were you thinking about them kind of once you crossed the plane? I guess kind of take me through that a little bit, thinking about your family the last time you're playing here in Neyland.
I mean, once I cleared everybody, I was looking straight at them. Like that was really just like the best feeling that I can ever have. Scoring a touchdown right there in front of my fam. So and then I had like everybody here, so that made it even better.
Theo, you're wondering about what your emotions might be like for senior day going in. What were they like? Did you cry? Any of that kind of stuff?
I got a little, teary eyed, but I didn't let one drop out, but because I had to, suppress them for the game. But it might hit me tomorrow.
Wes.
One question for each guy. Theo, I know that, you go against this offense every day in practice. When did you start to get an idea that Cedric Tillman could be this kind of player?
From the first day that they got here, we getting, dunked on by him every practice. So it's kind of, we kind of learned it then.
For Hendon, I know it seems like y'all have had so many splash plays throughout the season, and this game was a little bit different. Vandy was, maybe sitting back, making y'all be patient. Was that frustrating at times? I mean, I think y'all hadn't had but one 4-minute touchdown drive all year.
Yeah, not really. Just really taking it play by play, just trying to execute. That's the overall goal, and put the ball in the end zone.
I'll go Rob, Adam, Patrick, Jimmy.
You've been here for some of the dark times of this program over the course of your career. How does it feel to be a part where it feels like this year was where the turnaround started? How does it feel to be one of the guys that helped make that happen?
Man, it feels good, man. Like just knowing that everybody's having fun around you. Like, cause I know, cause us seniors, we've been through, tough times, but us sticking it through, trying to build on something, it really just makes it that much more special.
And then we're trying to read into everything you say and whether or not you went to senior day and all that to try to figure this out. Is that a mistake at all? Are we trying? Anything you're saying going to tip us off, or should we just wait?
Just wait. Just wait.
Yeah, that's a better decision to do right there. Wait.
Patrick, I'm not sure I'm supposed to follow that up, but just a couple questions. And then just with Cedric, what's your confidence level when you're throwing to him?
Yeah, it's high, but that's with every receiver. I believe in all my receivers to make a play when the ball's in the air. And tonight his number was called per usual, but he's a baller, super confident, super talented. One time I was throwing the ball away and he jumped up and caught it. But just love competing with the guys and love competing with all the receivers.
It's like you came here to play for a different staff, started the year as a backup. I think you might leave. I think you might have the highest single season passer rating in Tennessee history. Could you have ever imagined the season kind of going that way?
I mean, the accolades come with it when you put the work in, and just try to do your job. The accolades come with it.
And then another question on Cedric Tillman. He only had 8 catches in 3 years going into this year. Are you surprised at all that he's coming close to 1,000 yards this year?
No. Sed puts in a tremendous amount of work. He's earned it. He stayed down, and now his number's called, and he's delivered.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go west and then finish in the back.
I mean, is there any level of surprise for you that this season has sort of gone the way it has? In terms of, just building winning habits, turning around from what happened last year. It's an easy thing to say, but it's a hard thing to do. Are you surprised y'all are here?
Oh no. From when Coach Hype and all of them first got here, the first thing they brought in was positivity. Lifting up each other. We get negative things are gonna happen, but we always harp on being positive to one another, and then everybody is starting to buy into that, and then the seniors really take control of the team. The coaches they do some of the work, but behind the scenes is mostly the seniors.
Finish in the back.
And then throwing the ball out to Cedric Tillman's obviously easy, but when you have 2 guys rush for more than 100 yards, how much easier does that make your job?
Very easy. Everyone on the offense makes my job, a breeze, pretty much. But you know, those guys in the backfield are very talented. They run hard and they come in with the right attitude day in and day out to get 1% better. So I'm proud of those boys and the whole offense for executing, you know, in a game that wasn't going our way in some aspects of the game. So I'm proud of them today.
Adam, go ahead, you can go after him.
Theo, you said there's positivity in this coaching staff, and obviously a lot of things work schematically. What tells you this can last long term, that this can succeed over several years?
Oh yeah, because there's no drop off. Because when the young guys get in, they produce the same way that the older guys do. So I see that as, you know, being something that can last, you know, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So really just and then throughout the week, I see the younger guys, you know, taking into what we do. Either that's extra film or, you know, getting extra work in. Like, so I'm starting to see that more and more. And so once they become where we are, then they're going to give back.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Yep.
everybody.